Growing a fan base as a producer can feel impossible. In 2022, I had no direction and no audience. I had multiple other channels and aliases that only grew to around 500 followers. But between 2023 and 2024, I learned lessons that completely changed how I approach YouTube, content creation, and even my identity as a producer. Now, as you can see, this channel has over 27,000 subscribers, and I'm really happy to say that. Maybe it's not the most viral YouTube growth you've ever seen, but it's a little proof that these strategies do work, and it could be the difference between giving up and actually building the audience you've always wanted. So if you're struggling to build an audience as a producer, watch until the end. It'll change your life. So the first thing, and I might get a little bit of hate for this, I'm not gonna lie, but it's to not tell anybody. This is a piece of advice I got from a guy named Lucid a few years back, and you might be like, well, why would I not tell anybody? I want my family and friends to support me and stuff like that. And totally understand that. This will probably be different for every single person, but here's how it goes. If you tell people that you're going to be a YouTuber or build a fan base or be a music producer, whatever it is, people might validate you for planning that and wanting to do that, but you haven't closed the gap yet. And so you're gonna feel like the man, like you've already accomplished everything, and you're gonna get that surge of dopamine in your brain. But like I said, you haven't closed that gap yet, and I'm totally guilty of this. Not so much with my YouTube channel, because I truly didn't really tell anybody about that except like 3 people. Until now, of course, I'm more open about talking about it. I think there was a study done, especially when it comes to identity-based goals, like I am a YouTuber, I am a music producer, or whatever it is. The more people talk about those things and tell other people about it, the less likely they are to achieve them. So it's kind of proven at this point. At the same time, if you do tell people about your music, your videos, whatever it is, you'll start overthinking. You'll be like, oh, well, what will this person think about this song, and what will this person think about what I said in this video, etc. Once you've gotten results and stuff, and you've kind of proven that you can do this, then start telling people. Like 9 months ago, if I knew you in real life, I probably wouldn't have told you about my channel, just to be honest. But nowadays, I'm a lot more open about it because I've kind of proven to myself that this is something that I can do. Like I said, this could be completely different for every single person. Maybe you want to tell people. It's up to you, man. The second lesson is so powerful yet so simple. It's just to utilize your persona and your branding. Personally, I've been studying Fred again for like a year at this point, and I've tried to take that and implement it into my videos and my content. And so if you look at his Instagram, for example, or his YouTube, you can see that he's a really joyful guy, always making music, hanging out with his friends and stuff like that. And he has all these random clips of him and his friends making music, and that's what I've tried to implement into my own channel. I mean, if you've been subscribed to me for a few months and you've seen my thumbnails, you know who the video is by. I'll always have the desk with the LED lights, and then I'll be staring at my screen or something with my head in my hands like this. And maybe you've clicked on my videos even if the topic wasn't super interesting to you. That's the power of your brand and persona. And I don't even have the most unique brand. There's probably tons of other producers who use the same thumbnail style, the same content style, etc. Now, it's way more powerful to tell people stories and analogies rather than just give them straight facts. So for example, if you look back at the intro of this video where I tell my story of how I struggled with building an audience and started multiple accounts and only gained 500 followers, there's probably a chance that that sounds like you or somebody else out there. Imagine if I just opened the video with, a lot of producers struggle to gain followers. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to gain more followers as a music producer. And then just went straight into the video. You can't really resonate with that. There's no emotion. In fact, I've had a few of my one-on-one clients, and by the way, if you want to work together one-on-one, you can check the link in the description. But I've had a few of my one-on-one clients tell me that, man, the stories in your videos and what you've struggled with really sound like me, like it really resonates with me. And so just with that simple story, even if it's just explaining how you used to struggle to understand compression or something, it will really resonate with people, and your viewer will automatically relate to you on such a deeper level. And right there is whenever you get a lifelong fan. So really, to apply this, I've just told stories in all of my videos, whether that's me struggling with something in music production, me struggling to build a fan base, or whatever else. I'm just trying to show my transformation as much as possible so people can think that they can have that transformation too. And if you're just releasing music, for example, and you're not doing my style of content for producers, then either way, just tell some stories of how you struggled with X problem and then you found X solution and then you transformed, or just any story in general. Anyway, so you might notice in my videos I have the hook, the story, and then the main content where I might tell more stories and stuff like that, and then the outro where I try to inspire you as much as possible. Basically, by the end of my videos, I want you to feel like you've almost just watched a movie or something, like you've had a full spectrum of emotions. And so that's my point here. Let's say that this right here, this time span is a 10-minute video, or even a 3-minute song, to be honest. You can fill up this time span with emotions, and you kind of break down this timeline into specific points, right? The very first thing in the video is the hook, of course. This is where I tell you a story, or I just try and get your attention as fast as possible. This might last for about 30 to 45 seconds, maybe even shorter. I might tell you a story about how I struggled with compression, for example, and that I didn't know how to use it until I tell you what I'm going to tell you in the video. And you, as the viewer, might say, I struggle with compression, and I think this video could help me. This sounds exactly like me, and that's the point. Anyway, once the 30-second hook is over, we go straight into the content section, and this might be divided up into like 3 mini sections, right? This is the value of the video. It's what you're learning. In music, this could be the drop, the chorus. I might tell more stories in this. I might put more emotional elements. Why is this so hard to open? There we go. Dang. And then finally, it's the outro. And here I just try and motivate and inspire you as much as possible. And by the way, each of these 3 points in the video are also divided up into 3 sections. So number 1, it will be the setup. Number 2 is the progression. And then number 3 is reward. So number 1, for the setup, I'll tell you like a quick 5 to 10 second story about how I struggled with chord progressions, for example. And then number 2, the progression, I'll teach you how to overcome that, how to write chord progressions. And then number 3, the reward, I can't speak. Number 3, the reward is just knowing how to make the chord progressions, right? It's that simple. So if we kind of look at this on the micro scale, it's almost like each of these main points in the video have their own hook, their own content, and then their own outro. And if we zoom out a little bit more, it's the same thing. It's hook, content, outro, of course. And right now in this video, we're in the content section right here. So this is at least how I kind of visualize my videos, if that makes sense. And I hope it helps you. The next thing is stealing like an artist. This is how I've come up with almost all of my video ideas. I'm going to show you on my screen. So this is how I come up with all of my video ideas. It's very straightforward. All I did here was load up a empty tab or like an incognito tab. You can also create a new YouTube account. That way we get no recommendations whatsoever. It's completely blank. Then all we're going to do is search up some other niche rather than music. Example, we could do coding. And then all we're gonna do is just open a few of these videos and watch them for about 15 seconds. And so once we're done watching these for a few seconds, let's go back to the YouTube homepage. All right, that should be good. Let's go back. Now all we have to do is go through these titles and just steal them, right? So this one right here, how to study programming the lazy way. We could take that and say how to study music production the lazy way, just like that. If we scroll down a little bit more, this one right here, exploring dead games. We could use that and say exploring unused DAWs or something. I don't know. 7 years of music production advice in 18 minutes. This is actually already an idea that I have. So anyway, that's kind of how you get infinite ideas for music production videos. You can do this for Instagram, TikTok as well, and all of those other platforms. So you know how there's tons of producers and just creators in general that seem very good at documenting their life, documenting what they're doing at the time? Maybe you've seen my own videos and you see the little clips of me and my friends making music, or me in the studio with other creators and stuff like that. Personally, I like to call those life clips. Maybe there's a different name for it, but that's just what I named the folder on my computer for all these. And so basically how it works is while I'm in the studio, while I'm making music or anything like that, I'll just take my camera and just put it there. And eventually, after doing this for like a year now, I have a huge stack of clips that I can just incorporate into my videos whenever I want. And this also adds more emotion and connection to it. And this stuff doesn't even have to be music related. So once again, going back to Fred again, this is something that I kind of got from him. And I really do think this kind of helps your audience feel more connected to you. I mean, maybe you've watched my videos before and you've seen those clips and you think it's pretty cool. And so just even taking your phone and recording a few clips here and there can be great, because you're documenting. Then from there you can create a folder and you'll have this huge vault of clips that you can use in the future. And you'll even be able to look back on those clips and see where you were at that time and how much progress you've made. I'm telling you, man, like being able to see that progress and see where you've gone and even show your audience that is amazing. Seeing myself 1 year ago, maybe even 10 months ago, recording clips in this room, in this studio, and then fast forward 10 months later, which is now, being able to see clips of myself in a more professional studio with some of my favorite producers. is insane. And that leads us into the next thing, which is utilize your following and network. And so once you start leveling up and people kind of start to know who you are, you can start networking and messaging other producers. And this is my favorite part, honestly. Like, just from building this following on YouTube, even at 10K subscribers, I started getting DMs from other famous producers, even those with like 100K followers and have produced Billboard tracks and stuff. Or I'll message a producer and they'll reply with something like, hey, I've seen your videos, I love your channel, we should meet up, or something like that. And it's really, really cool. And I don't even have the most subscribers as a music producer on YouTube. There's people with way more subscribers than me. But because I think the producer community is more tight-knit, it's a little bit more niche, I think, people will kind of know who you are even at 10,000. And obviously, making music just for the subscribers or the followers is a dumb idea. But what I'm saying is it's really cool to be able to level up, and then you get to meet other producers that you've been wanting to meet for a long time. Anyway, as always, I hope this video inspired you. It's been a long time since I've actually recorded because all the other videos from the past like 1 to 2 months have been pre-recorded. I'm really glad to be back doing this. I hope you had a great 2025 so far. 2024 was one of the best years of my life, and I really appreciate your support. Anyway, if you want to help me retire my parents, you can check the link in the description or subscribe. It's totally up to you. Thank you so much. Make music now, and you'll thank yourself later. Peace.